Hi guys, it's Noiser, and this is a video I actually never thought I would make. I've started to have serious doubts about the longevity of Battlefield 1, and as much as I like the game, I'm not sure that it will last for long. This video is as much a review of Battlefield 1 as it is an analysis of why I fell in love with Battlefield, with Rainbow Six Siege and FPS games as a genre, and why I think certain games appeals to me so much while others don't. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Battlefield 1 is one of the most beautiful games ever made, and it truly is a fun and immersive experience to play. I really like Battlefield 1, but I don't love it. And that's the problem. I don't love it the way I love to play Battlefield 4. I don't really miss playing it when I don't. I don't look forward to DLCs, new weapons or gadgets, and haven't even bought the Premium Pass. I don't watch everything there is to watch on YouTube about it, and certainly don't spend hours and hours on Simthic.com to try and figure out what gun I should use and how I should use it to make well in different situations to improve my game. So, why is it that way? To understand that, I went back in time to when I got BF4, which for those of you who didn't know, was where my love for FPS games started. Yep, at the age of about 36, this is when it happened. And I haven't felt for a game like I felt for BF4 until Rainbow Six Siege was released, so this got me thinking about the reasons why. When thinking about it, Battlefield 4 never really got a hold. It just kept getting better as time went by. It wasn't until Battlefield Hardline was announced that the urge for something new hit me, and that is a game that I really loved playing when it was released. Some of the changes made compared to BF4 felt awesome as well, but the lack of content and the changes in vehicle gameplay was a couple of reasons that made Hardline get old pretty fast. And I was back in BF4 before the first DLC and haven't played it since. Then Battlefront came along, and although I understood that it wouldn't be exactly the same, I really looked forward to it. I've been a huge Star Wars fan since the age of 7, when I saw my first Star Wars movie, when Return of the Jedi came out on VHS. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this was like 15 years before internet, so, well, never mind. Eventually, Battlefront sort of got old too, although I played split screen with my kids every now and then. And when teases around the next Battlefield game started to spread, I was sure this would be the big one. Building on the optimized netcode, the stunning graphics of Battlefront, and the new appealing ideas around gun customizations from Hardline. My only concern was that it would have a theme that wouldn't appeal to me. I don't want a futuristic shooter, and thought rumors around World War I felt kinda strange. I was hoping for something from World War II to the 80s Cold War perhaps. As the Battlefield 1 trailer was announced, I started believing though, as it looked awesome and seemed to build on more than trench warfare, armed only with bolt-action rifles with iron sights. After playing the open beta, I was hooked and I couldn't wait for the full release. So, what do I think about it now? Well, I still think it looks awesome. I still think it's really fun, but there are a few reasons that makes me think I might leave the franchise for good. In my opinion, something fundamental has changed in how DICE make their Battlefield games, and in many ways, it has to do with the experience of skill. Note that I said experience. I'm not saying Battlefield 1 don't take skill, and I'm certainly not saying that I am some sort of pro-skilled player that think the game is too casual. I'm just a player that says the game feels too casual, to make me want to put in the hours to get better and the money to get more. I want to feel that what I do in-game and how I do it actually make a difference. I want to feel that testing out different loadouts, customizations and tactics actually makes me perform better. And I want to feel that I just have to grind those 1,000 kills or whatever to get that special attachment I think I need. And I definitely want to feel that a certain weapon in my hands can perform much better than the same weapon in the hands of a new player, because I've practiced to master it. The small rocket launcher in BF4 was something I could take down helicopters left and right with and snipe running infantry with, just because I'd used it so much that I had a feeling for how to lead my shots to make epic kills. Sure, I was average in everything else, but I guess I just put in more time than the average player with the small, since I for some reason wanted to be good with it. In Battlefield 1 I feel there is only so much I can do to find my optimal loadout and gun customization. And although I for example think sniping is extremely fun in Battlefield 1, and although I thought the new sweet spot mechanic was a genius thing to do, now when I've learned to be decent with sniper rifles I sort of feel a bit fooled. Every now and then I get a one-shot kill with a body shot just because the player happened to be at the right range. Next engagement I don't, although it might be just a meter or two away from the optimal range. This makes sniping random and inconsistent, and inconsistency is something I can't counter no matter how much I read up on Symanthic or practice in-game. The same goes for the progression system and customization as well, as there really is no way for me to know how to get that specific skin I might want, which sort of makes me lose interest. The thing is though, that I'm not sure it's the game's fault. It might be me, like that classic breakup phrase, "It's not you, it's me." Perhaps I and many of the guys I play with around my age isn't the most important target group for the Battlefield franchise anymore. Perhaps there are many more players out there that prefer the plug-and-play feeling that I think characterizes the aim DICE seem to have with their games now. It could just be a well-thought-through business decision. What strikes me though, is that I probably spend more money for extra content for a game than 10 to 20 younger players do, who perhaps can't possibly afford that. And now, please don't get me wrong, I think it's awesome with a game that can appeal to players of all ages, and that absolutely not requires extra purchases to be able to play or perform well. I'm talking about spending extra money on customizations for nerds like me, and perhaps shortcuts to unlocking things that all players can unlock in-game, like in Rainbow Six Siege. I'm actually downloading Battlefield 4 right now, while making this video, and that says a lot. It wasn't until the release of Battlefield 1 that I deleted it, and now a couple of months later, I'm sort of back. I'm sure BF4 will seem a bit old, and that's fine. I got Rainbow Six Siege, which just keeps growing on me, even after playing it almost every day for over a year now. So, should you buy Battlefield 1? Absolutely! Especially if you think the things that I'm talking about don't bother you. It's probably one of the best shooters of all time. But sadly, Battlefield seems to have sailed off and left me at port. Too much have been going in this direction the last couple of years for it not to be so. And honestly, it makes me kinda sad. But at the same time, I got Rainbow Six Siege now, which I think is a relationship that is built to last, and on Thursday I will be back with my regular upload with Siege content. And until then, I will keep being Noiser. Hej då!